Hi everybody, welcome to the signal box today. Thank you for joining me again with another video update, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and I'll get on with today's video. So as you can see, this little canal extension that I'm building, this is phase 2 now as opposed to phase 1. Phase 1 was the construction of it using the balsa wood and a little bit of paint work, and this is phase 2. So just this evening I've put some woodland scenic plaster bandage in that canal recess from that end all the way along, as you can see, and that's virtually touch dry. Give it a few minutes, about 5-10 minutes more, and it will be ready for paint. So what we'll do, this is phase 2. Phase 3 will be the painting of this, and then phase 4 will be the realistic water added and the static grass. So it's 4 simple phases, but it's a little bit of work. So at the moment this is where we're at, and I will show you when this is painted afterwards, but I'll just give it a little bit more longer to dry. I'll include the painted finish in the next segment of this same video, so because of the continuity it will be in the next shot, but for me it will be a little bit of a 10-15 minute gap. But anyway, just to show you what I've done, and this what I've done with this, guys, is the simple reason of putting that on there is because it acts like a seal, even though it's balsa wood to balsa wood and it's glued underneath. The realistic water resin product has a habit of sometimes seeping through, and we don't want that. So looking at Woodland Scenic's tutorial videos and info on their website, they do recommend laying this stuff in the basin area of your water feature beforehand, like a lining, much like we used to use big giant rolls of Turan, which was a very permeable but yet solid seal we used to use when laying full-size railway track before you put the ballast on the track. So this is basically like a pre-seal finish, so this will hopefully absorb all the resin and keep it from flying out everywhere. It shouldn't fly everywhere, but this is just like a little added measure they recommend, so everything sits nicely in there. Okay, so we'll get this painted up and I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, so by the powers of continuity, much later on in the evening, no, it's only been like I suppose a half an hour, 45 minutes since the last bit you saw. So here is the canal basin fully painted now, ready to go for the realistic water product. So it's just almost dry. It's a little bit wet in some places, but that's basically almost dry in certain places. In certain places it's wet, as mentioned, but that's drying quite nicely. And I've overlapped the murky paint finish on both sides for a reason, and that is because this area on both sides, right up to the bank of the canal where my finger is, from here, the edge right the way to here, that's going to be covered in static grass on both sides. So this will be all transformed with static grass, and it will make the whole thing pop. But I've just done a little bit of an over paint for a reason, so it takes the grass right up to the edge, and when you go right up to the edge with the grass, there won't be that for example, any white plaster showing underneath. So by covering that up right over the edge, I've given myself plenty of area to cover without making any patchy appearances. So all I used for that was basically this good old stuff here, olive drab from I nearly said WW Scenics, so I get in trouble for that, from Woodland Scenics. Blimey, a bit of international lawsuit going on there. Yeah, so that's the product I use. It's very, very good. As you can see, once it's almost dry, it will give a nice effect. And what I'm going to do with this one, I'm not going to have murky water like the previous canal. This is actually going to be a clear pour. So once it comes in the post on Tuesday, I think next week, got to wait for it from Amazon, it'll be a case of just pouring this in stages and up to the top of the canal, right the way up to the top there. That will be clear. So the idea is once it's all dry, you'll be able to see the bottom of the canal, but the actual water surface and everything, the depth wise, it will be nice and clear. So that'll give that quite a nice three-dimensional depth effect. So yeah, we're going to go for that, and then obviously we can touch in any little bits at the end there. I know this looks a little bit grey from the plaster, but I can just touch that up with some paint. It's not a problem at all. So there we go. This is phase 2 complete now. So I'm going to let this dry, and I won't be doing much on this until very earliest maybe next week. And yeah, I'm gonna have a relaxing weekend this week. So there's no layout videos Saturday this weekend because I'm having a little bit of a break because I'm knackered this week, as we say in the UK, worn out. So I will catch you very soon. But in the meantime, this is where we're at with the canal extension. So stay tuned for the updates as and when. And I'll see you soon in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.